with that, I want to thank everybody for listening, and I want to open it up, so we're ready if you guys have questions.
I've got a question. I noticed that the work you guys are doing right now, it seems like the pipe is in the southbound lane, but the image that you showed that it would be in the northbound lane as it was passing this island. Where would the trench be at? In the northbound or southbound?
Center line or southbound line?
Center line and southbound.
Yeah, so this image right here, this is kind of showing coming out of the service road grass area, entering the lane. So this is the southbound, that's the center of the road, right where the turning lane is. We don't have any pipe going on the northbound except for when we're crossing that lane perpendicular.
Got it. Thank you.
You were saying that you're doing around the clock work and there's certain things happening at night and certain during the day. As far as businesses that need water during the day in order to have their business open, how can that happen? Or
Yeah, good question. So her question is that if work's going on 24 hours a day and we're putting in water pipe, people that need water. So I want to make sure we're not confused. The existing water main is remaining active and in service throughout this project. So you will never be without water. This is being put in place so that once it's all done, they'll connect this and activate it and clear it, and then it'll be put into service after the project's done. So the existing water main that's there now is working just fine, and it's going to continue to work. And we know exactly where it's at. You can see by this dotted line. So we're staying away from it and not, fingers crossed it doesn't get touched. It's underground construction, things happen, but for the most part, these guys are the best. They specialize in this type of work. So, we don't hit the mains. They're all marked, and so your water will remain active throughout the project.
what is it going to be like a 1 minute turnaround? So, I mean, there's got to be some transition at some point.
Well, what happens that's a good question, whenever it gets transferred over, what customer service usually does, they'll activate the new main and they'll keep both of them active for a certain period of time. And then when they want to flop it over, once they have the master meters and everything installed and in place, they'll usually do like an hour or something, and they'll coordinate it so it's like during a downtime like 9 to 2 or something like that during the day, and they'll say, hey, we're going to switch over water services for 1 hour. But it's so, they've got an optimal process for that. I've been involved with several projects. It's really streamlined. It's like an hour maybe that you'll usually be down, and that's probably 2 years from now though.
I know that we upped this project about a year because we started having breaks in our current pipe. So what is a way that we can have immediate communication if a line breaks? Because I have one business that's 5 to 2 and the other one's 24 hours. So
Yeah, Craig wants to answer that one.
We're gonna probably know about a break before you do. We have it all on computer screen, and we have someone 24 hours a day monitoring that screen. So as soon as they see a drop, I've actually been on a Zoom meeting when we had a leak, and you can see everybody's face change because everybody's watching the same screen. So we'll know we usually know we have a leak long before anyone ever calls us.
Just
and
so we
tells
know,
us.
I mean, we're in at 4 a.m. to start baking, so we, an idea of just where we can go to find that information immediately.
You can go on FKA. You can go on.
They got to sign up for Code Red. So there's a Code Red calling system in place with FKA, and as soon as there's a break, they activate that system. You'll get, if you opt into text messaging, but you have to opt into it, you'll get a text. Okay.
So sign up for Code Red. FKA is one of many public utilities that use the system. It's awesome.
Okay.
As soon as they push messaging out, you'll get it right to your phone, but you have to opt in. It's illegal to just text people
You can go
without
on
their
Facebook.
permission.
We have it on Facebook. As soon as we have a leak, it'll be on Facebook.
I'm on all that. And
It'll
I
be
check
on
it, but
Twitter.
We had our main breaks, and then at the second one and then the third one.
Right.
I mean, we were there, and we had to wait. We didn't know I could call on FAA. I didn't know if we could open, so we were like just sitting there for 2.5 hours. Just so I want to be able to have, that was a rare situation. Now we're a little bit more adept. So I just want to know where I can go right away to know what my options are,
If you wake up and you have no water, or for some reason water stops, by that time it should be on social media. We ought to have answers out there for you. Now, you're going to start calling this 2454 number, and there's going to be thousands of people calling that number, so there may be not an opportunity
I
to
got
get to a lab. Yeah, there you go. Just call him. But that's kind of how that'll go. You know, we'll know there's a leak, and we'll be on it. It takes about 12 hours for us to fix a leak. And what happened, just for a little brief history, what happened up there before is we had one leak, and we have 12 hours of reserve. So we're good. We're pumping water from the south to the north to the break, and continuing to the break from the north coming south. And there should only be a small area. Well, the first two breaks we were fine. We had enough. Nobody really realized a large water loss. It was up by Key West, Theater by the Sea, so it wasn't a big thing. And then we had the third one, and we were done.
Yeah,
We were out at that point. We have enough water for 24 hours, and 2 breaks is 12 hours apiece. The third one, we were just done. We had to save it for firefighting and hospitals. So that's why.
Well, if you guys want breakfast, I just need to know.
Okay, very good.
Just saying.
Thank you.
Is the old highway going to be accessible?
Yeah, there won't be any changes to the old highway. For this project, there'll be no impacts to that at all. And again, we have two-way traffic on Overseas Highway the entire duration of this project.
Are they going to allow cut throughs?
Through the construction zone, I want
the old
to.
highway, so you go.
Yeah, when you get to that point, you'll still be able, because it's on, old highway's on the opposite of the bay side, right? So you'll still be able to get through that. But I'm glad you brought that up about cutting through. One thing that hasn't been any delays or any stage. We've been monitoring the traffic, but one thing that does cause 2 to 5 minute delay, some people want to turn in through the construction zone and they're waiting, wanting to turn left. We ask if you can go all the way down and U-turn and come back so you can turn right out of the construction zone and you're not standing and holding everybody up. That helps so much. We've had some of the flaggers, they're proactive out there. When they see that, they'll maybe run up to your car window and tell you to go down and do a U-turn. But that helps because, we even got big trucks that are trying to bring supplies and everything through. So as much as we can just be helpful with that, and try not to just sit there and wait till you can turn, because it backs everybody up.
Aaron, by the way, there's no turning in the
Yeah, now
It's narrowed down, so when you
It's
turn
north and south, you have to go up or down when you turn.
Okay, the current, and that's actually better, I think, so that we don't have that issue, because when you're trying to turn through, that's where it causes backups.
Right, so as a business that's on the side, that's gonna be the northbound side, they're gonna have to go all the way past and make a U-turn to turn into the business.
That is correct, right, but like Square Grouper, for instance, right now,
Yeah.
you can turn
They're on
in-
the other side.
They're on the other side, yeah.
They're on the bay
right,
side.
right.
And then when you say they're stopping for holidays, like, so for example, Memorial Day weekend, are they stopping early on Friday? Are they stopping at the end of Friday?
So Friday night, 7 p.m., right? So 7 p.m. on Friday, they're gonna spend some time cleaning up because they have a trench and everything there. So Friday, they're gonna spend some time during the day getting everything cleaned up. But by 7 p.m., that MOT is supposed to be out of the road, and then it won't come back until Tuesday night at midnight, right?
Do they consider?
Tuesday night, or you mean Monday night, Tuesday?
Monday night,
Monday
Tuesday.
night this
Monday
week.
night, Tuesday, yeah,
Are
good
you
question.
guys considering mini-season? as
Yeah, that was my
well?
next question.
So it is. So what we did is we sent out information to DOT, because a lot of this is dictated, we're in their roadway. And basically everything that DOT considers blackout dates, they sent that back to us, and then we provided a list of those. So those have all been sent. So lobster mini season is one of those.
Is there a
that
list
of
publicly?
blackout dates available for us?
We could probably, Lori, if you write that down, we can make sure we get that to you guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
When you're in front of a particular property, their driveway access, I've noticed in a few places, you've got steel plates over the hole.
Mhm.
Is that going, how quickly or how long will a driveway be non-functional before you can get those plates over?
So, and I may have let these guys
10
answer.
or 15 minutes.
There's like 10 or 15 minutes, and even along those lines, just because I know I get this question a lot, there's emergency vehicles that need to get in and out of there as well, and we've had meetings with the fire rescue, with Monroe Police. Those plates are on site as well. If somebody has to get in and out, even at a spot where there's not a plate, these guys are ready immediately to drop plates and put rock in the hole and be able to get access into a property. So you'll never be totally cut off. But these guys do this all the time. They're really good at it, and they know how much time it takes and how to get everybody in and out.
And you can go in and behind a piece of equipment and we'll get you on the roadway. But as far as being completely cut off, you probably will never be completely cut off.
And some of that too, with the advanced team that goes in front of the pipeline and talks at your business, some of these specific stuff, they'll talk with you through that as well.
Is
Let me
there a
go.
plan in place to coordinate with the bus that comes from Miami? A lot of our workforce comes on that bus.
Yep.
I'm hoping that maybe you guys spelled out an agreement where they can use the old road and not.
Yeah, so what we've done to this point, before the project even started, we reached out to Monroe County Transit and just about all the transit companies, let them know the project was coming, and see if they wanted to relocate any of the bus stops. I think what the best plan that has worked for everybody involved, even if it's in the construction zone, the workers that are there, they're basically, when the bus stops, they're keeping them right in that construction zone, right in that location. The flaggers are assisting all the workers on the bus and off, and it seems to be working just fine. I haven't had any complaints. Everyone's meeting their routes and their schedules, so that seems to be working. Yeah, but that did come up, and we asked that question if they wanted to coordinate further on that. They opted not to, but I think it's because everything is flowing so well just through the construction zone. Way in the back first, and then I'm getting to you next.
Me?
Yes?
You referred to it, so are you saying that it only takes about 15, 20 minutes to trench in front of a driveway so that you can drop a plate on it?
No, I think what he's talking about is they have to go through a driveway to trench it. And what they do is they'll try to look where your access point is, and they're going to save that spot as long as they can. And then there's a short piece where they may have a 10 or 15 minutes where they have to knock something out, and then they put the plate in place. But there will never be longer than 10 or 15 minutes. But Richie, do you want to?
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll have to move what we'll have to do is move the traffic, incoming and outgoing traffic to one side for a temporary. Have a flag guy posted there so we can get people in and out. Get the trench cut, and then we'll put plates on where we cut the trench, and then we'll come back up and then switch them back to the other side.
My question is cutting that trench, is it about a normal driveway? Is that about a 15-minute process? Is that what
No.
you're saying?
No, it's not the whole thing like that. They stage it. I think if we go to your driveway and we see it, but they stage it in a way where you continue to have access the whole time. But there's about a 15-minute time of cutting that driveway where that plate has to be put in place so you won't have access in and out. But they're so proactive, you'll know that. They're gonna come and talk to you and say, hey, we're getting ready to do this last piece. We need to set the plate down. You're gonna be blocked for about 15 minutes or 10 minutes. Sometimes maybe it's even at night, you won't know it. But what we've seen, the longest downtime and not having an access is like 10 or 15 minutes, right?
I think her question is, how long is it gonna take to trench a driveway?
The whole driveway.
The whole driveway, you're looking at probably 4 hours.
Right. But that's not where you don't have access.
But it won't
you
be
always have
closed
access
4
to it.
hours.
Correct. You got it.
You'll be in front of that driveway 4 hours, but not necessarily closed.
There you go. You're on it. Okay, I know she had a question, right?
Yeah, I have some employees that walk to work. What's the effect on the sidewalks?
So that's a good question. A lot of the construction zones, so that we only have to take one lane of travel. They have to stage their materials, and then they also have to bring in rock to put in. So the way we've been able to do this is utilize some of that area. So there's a pedestrian crossing, I'll try to go, that's got signs and everything.
I'm on the
It
southbound
moves,
side.
Aaron, with the MOT. It
Right.
moves as the MOT
So,
moves.
as this MOT moves, you'll see a crossing, like a sign that says, hey, cross here, and on both sides. Now, the last thing we want to do is send people across Overseas Highway. But there are crossings in place for that. And we ask everybody to use caution, crossing Overseas Highway, but that's the only way so that they can maintain pedestrian access, but it will cross through the construction zone to the opposite side.
When they're in front of her business, will you guys be able to have someone escort them? if they need.
So they'll come across the street?
So, like 7 to 10 days ahead of time, when they coordinate with you.
Yeah.
If you let them know, then they'll just get with one of these guys and they can walk them through the site to get them to where they need to go.
That's been the key, and I can't stress that enough. These guys are super good, they're hands-on, they will do stuff like that. As the advanced team comes to your business, definitely talk with them about stuff like that, because they want to make it as easy as possible. Way in the back?
I've seen FHP pull over just about every rock truck that's coming down here. Are they gonna ease up things on schedule?
As far as pulling over?
Commercial
No,
vehicle.
Yeah.
they're targeting all the commercial vehicles because they don't have any licensing on them.
Okay, but they're bringing the rock down. So
Yeah.
if they're held up
As
for
long as
hours
they have
while they're
this-
going through all that, is that gonna affect?
It hasn't affected the project as it stands right now. I'm glad you brought that up though, but materials have been getting down, you know.
We can always increase
Right.
if something like that happens following day. to make sure we have-
Okay. Good concern though. Anybody else? Is this helpful for everybody?
It is.
Okay. It's Judy?
I know I had a retailer that was coming that didn't make it. They worried about dust. If they have like a boutique and glass doors, and they're wondering how much is gonna seep in, could it be damaging to their product? So I'll ask their question for them.
Okay, so from what, the project requires dust control. It's tough when there's days like when we don't have rain events, it just naturally gets more dusty. What we ask the contractor to do is have a rolling water truck that just sprays the area to keep the dust down. I know today and every time I'm on site, I see that in operation. There's times where the water truck can, go 500 feet and the area they just watered, it gets dusty again. It's an ongoing battle, but we do have measures in place to eliminate that issue. I think they're doing a fine job of it, but when I do see the dust pick up, they get a phone call right away. Hey guys, we need to run their water truck more, maybe get 2 water trucks. So that's something we're gonna battle throughout the project, but they are doing, I'm sure you guys have probably seen it, they're watering and spraying the water truck as they go. Yes?
This might be a question you want to answer afterwards, but in our office, we're out on appointments till August and such. So it's not like somebody showing up 7, 10 days ahead of time that's going to do us any good. And then that means that much further, we've got to kick our patients out too. So how much more time can we have? In months, obviously.
Well, I think the key is we're gonna make sure you have access. So your patients or your customers that are coming in are never going to be blocked. I don't wanna paint that as a picture that
That's
they're,
not a problem. The water is a problem.
the water.
Yeah, it's a dental office. We can't function without our equipment and water.
What we said earlier, you won't lose water ever. You're talking about when the main is connected?
Yes.
Okay.
Those transitions
Right.
should be at night too.
Yeah, so they stage them, they stage it so it's off-peak time, and every project I've been involved with that's never been, like, if you have a specific facility like that, they're gonna customer service coordinate with you, and if you're adamant that you can't be without water during that time, they'll make that hour happen at night without an issue. That's like 2 years down the road though, but I'm thinking you're talking about the water now. Anybody else have one? And like I said, I'm gonna stick around so we can, we can look at specific stuff in front of your business if you guys would like. Everybody good?
Any business that has multiple entrances, are they going to, at any time, are they going to be closed off?
No, I mean, that's the idea is if you have multiple, because they'll try to coordinate and figure out how to stage one driveway at a time. They can get in front of your business way quicker when you have that. Businesses that only have one, it's a little bit tougher, but they have a game plan for that as well. But it's much better if you have multiple entrances.
Yeah, if you've got 2, you could possibly shut one down, focus all your traffic through the other one, and then as you put that pipe in and backfill, then you can switch it around.
And that makes it go way quicker.
Right.
Okay. All right, thanks everybody. So I'm gonna stick around. David's gonna help me, maybe Corey and